Yeah, so STs are an interesting thing because they were just 70s 911s that were taken off the production line and basically sold to racing teams. ST Archers were welded on and off they went racing. This is pretty much that. The car is a 911S from 72, the oil filler flat model. And a set of ST Archers were welded onto the car, and it's been racing also. Albeit it doesn't have the provenance of what people call the genuine STs in inverted commas. But what attracted me to the car wasn't necessarily just what it was more about who had worked on the car. The engine had been done by Neil Bainbridge. The arches had been done by a very well-regarded fabricator who really specializes in that kind of thing with 911s. So it had all the right credentials. Then there was the fact that it had a little bit of race history. It used to be owned by Josh Sadler, who used to own Autofarm. He took the car on hill climbs and all sorts of other events where it did very well. I saw it and I was like, well, that's perfect. I mean, I would love to build my own, 70s hot rod ST spec, but the issue is that nowadays it's cost prohibitive. So fundamentally what attracted me to this car was the fact that it had already been done. And also it wasn't in perfect condition, so it had enough room for me to put my mark on it. The car's got a few issues, it's got dents and scratches, but that's fine. If anything, that's better, because it means I can just abuse it without worrying about it too much, being precious. Torsion bars need to be changed, so I'll probably put in 931 so it's nice and stiff. The 2.7 motor has good compression, but I've got this 3.5 MFI motor on ITVs sitting on the shelf that's not running quite right, but I think it's just an MFI issue, so I'll sort that out, drop that into the car, sort the torsion bars out, and then it'll be a proper barnstormer.
Right, so what does the ST drive like? I'm going to go through my whole usual raft. I'm going to go through my usual raft of cliches here. So it's got what's it called, this box again?
915.
It's got 915 box, so it's really long throw. But because it's quite a good one, it's nice to use. It does feel a bit truck-like. You've heard that before, haven't you, Frank? Oh, yeah. By the way, everybody, hello. And we're driving the car now. I'm with Frank, who you will all know. Have a second, was it? Who you will all know
it
because...
was second. Yeah, past tense. As in it used to be second, now it's just a pile of rubble. Bits of metal just going around my gearbox.
So you'll all know Frank because I've driven quite a few of his other cars and he lets me drive them even though I sometimes drive them like that. I have driven the ST before and it's a nice little car to drive. It feels quite nimble. The engine's nice. This is a 2.7 RS lump, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah, it's the 2.7 RS spec. It's not actually a 2.7 RS engine.
Steering really firms up in corners as you're used to, these sort of magical 911s and all that sort of stuff. I don't know really about this car. It's a really nice drive, but compared to your other cars, I don't really know what to make of it. I think maybe I'd need more time with it.
Probably.
You were saying that you think the front suspension needs a bit of work, or it needs lowering.
Looking through the history of the car, it's had dampers not too long ago, but the front is riding really high, and when you turn in, it tends to want to lean in the opposite direction of the turn. So I hazard to say that it's torsion bars, so my plan is to change them to 930 items when I have a garage I can actually do some work from.
Okay. So it feels like it doesn't particularly want to turn, which is a 911 trait anyway, but it's quite marked in this car, I think.
No, I think,
Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I think 911s do like to turn in, absolutely. They just, this 911 isn't exactly a shining example of what it could be.
That engine pulls really, really nicely.
Oh yeah.
But it's actually got quite a lot of pep, I'm surprised.
Yeah. No, it's a very fast little car. No, I mean, you're not the first person. You certainly won't be the last to underestimate an old 911. But it's extremely, extremely light. you know, and that makes a huge difference.
That's lovely once it's actually in the middle of the corner and
Yeah,
it's
once it's on
settled, it feels really nice. You get loads of feedback.
These earlier 911s with smaller displacement, you need to rev the nuts off.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. No doubt in my mind that actually driven back to back with a 964 RS, it probably would nail it.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's so light.
964 RS?
Yeah, it's so light.
I don't know
Watch
if
out
it
though, because
feels...
the tyres are very old.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull over and you can have a little drive as well and tell us why you love it so much, because I know it's one of your favourites. Let's go and don't kill me, please.
Yes, boss.
All right.
Yeah.
No one would be very upset, but still.
Well, you never know.
Do you want
Pigs
me to
may
hold
fly.
that for
Yeah,
you?
please. Yeah, I love this car because I have a special thing for 70s 911s. You know, I don't want to fulfill all the cliches, but it's true. These cars drive amazingly well. They're extremely tactile. They're extremely lightweight. They're very, very sensory. And the earlier engines, they aren't big displacement engines, so they need to be revved. They're just very frantic little cars when you get them going. Give you a lot of feedback. Yeah, so that's what I love about them. So I think, yeah, once the torsion bars are done, and it's a synchro mesh. It's not me.
So earlier was that the synchro mesh when I fucked it up?
No, absolutely not. But when I do it,
That's just because I'm a shit driver.
yeah, precisely. See? No, yeah. But to be fair, I love these gearboxes.
Yeah.
915s are just really, really special.
Yeah.
People always bang on about how G50s are better.
Yeah.
And the early G50s had long throws like this.
Yeah.
But in reality, 915 gearboxes are just as good. And in fact, I find them much more cathartic. Much more cathartic, much more mechanical. They just require a little bit more patience. And the reason they're much maligned is because nowadays our standards for what a gearbox should do are so much higher than what they were at the time. So people drive them like they drive modern gearboxes, and as a result, you know, they wear very quickly and then they become awful.
Right.
But once a 915 is rebuilt and it's in good condition, albeit this one's got a bad synchro mesh in the second gear, you know, they are brilliant gearboxes. It's a 5-speed. Yeah, it's great. I mean, you can cruise. You can cruise.
Between the two of us today,
I know, we're gonna
hammered
just
that gearbox,
yeah.
haven't we? I'm glad though. It does make me feel a bit better because I did feel like a bit of a tool earlier when I did it.
That's
so.
fine, mate.
They are very vague. You've got to know where each gear is. It's not just something you can throw in.
Yeah,
and
but
for the best. You have to know.
True. Not only is it an early 911 and therefore they drive amazing, but at the same time, it's the fact that the car isn't perfect. So there's enough
to make it usable.
There's enough to make it my own, more than anything. You know, there's enough room for me to make it my own.
Even as a passenger, it's like an enjoyable car to be in. These older cars, you can feel so much from them.
Yeah, they're just very tactile. They just give you so much feedback. I mean, I'm going to say this because I own this car, but I totally understand why people are absolutely obsessed and besotted by these early cars. And I've got to say that having driven quite a few Porsches, the 70s cars, and actually the 964s, which is what I started on with 911s, are by far my favourite cars.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for letting me have a drive. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you for the next one.